What if I told you the Crawleys are returning for one final bow, and this time it's goodbye for good? Downton Abbey, the grand finale, is almost here.
What if I
and
told
it's
you
more
that the
than just a
Crawleys are
movie.
returning for
It's
one
the end of an
final
era.
unforgettable chapter?
The curtain has finally lifted on the first glimpse of Downton Abbey, the grand finale, shown exclusively at CinemaCon, and fans have reason to be both thrilled and teary-eyed. Set to premiere in theaters this September, the film promises to bring the beloved saga to a heartfelt conclusion after 6 celebrated seasons and 2 feature films. While major plot twists remain under wraps, one thing is certain: the full core cast is returning to say goodbye in style. At Universal's CinemaCon event, Focus Features shared new insight with a trailer opening at a horse race where Carson announces the year 1930. From there, we're treated to glimpses of Lady Mary and Edith, followed by the return of familiar faces gathering once again at the estate. Lady Mary dazzles in crimson, and a series of elegant, festive scenes suggest a grand celebration is underway. The teaser ends with an emotional moment as Robert gently kisses his hand and places it on the Abbey's wall. A silent farewell. The sneak peek carries a strong emotional current and a wave of nostalgia. As Carson notes, the story is stepping into a new decade, a time of sweeping social and political change. The 1930s brought global uncertainty, and for the Crawleys and their devoted staff, it signals transformations that could redefine their way of life. Let's rewind a bit, back to 1927. That's when the royal visit turned Downton upside down. King George V and Queen Mary announced a stop at the estate, prompting a flurry of preparations. Lady Mary, skeptical of Barrow's leadership, summoned retired butler Carson, leaving Barrow slighted. As preparations continued, a love triangle brewed when the boiler repairman caught Daisy's eye, sparking jealousy in Andy. Early royal arrivals, including the charming valet Richard Ellis, clashed with the Downton staff, who struggled under the weight of entitled guests and vanishing valuables. Just as everything seemed to unravel, Edith and Bertie returned, and Mary led a frantic setup for the royal parade. The weather cleared just in time, and the king and queen met the Crawleys. Meanwhile, in the village, Tom crossed paths with a man hiding a deadly secret, Major Chettiu, plotting to assassinate the king. With Mary's help, Tom thwarted the plan, saving the monarchy. Later, he offered support to Princess Mary, disheartened over her strained marriage. Inside Downton, the staff plotted to regain control. Ellis and Barrow tricked the royal team into leaving early, while Anna uncovered the Queen's dresser had been stealing. That leverage helped secure changes to Lady Hexam's gown. The farewell dinner was a triumph, with Mr. Mosley earning praise for the menu and boldly owning his contributions. Barrow's night out in York with Ellis led to a bittersweet turn, a police raid at a secret gay club. Ellis used his connections to free Barrow, deepening their bond. Back at the estate, Isabel discovered Lucy was Lady Ma Bagshaw's illegitimate daughter. After some gentle persuasion, Ma confessed to Violet, who surprisingly embraced the truth and saw a spark between Tom and Lucy. Henry eventually returned to rejoin the family, attending a royal ball where Princess Mary credited Tom with saving her marriage. The king quietly acknowledged the near assassination and canceled Bertie's Africa trip after learning of Edith's pregnancy. With Violet's blessing, Tom and Lucy's romance flourished, while Violet, sensing her time was short, reassured Mary that the estate's legacy would endure. In a tender scene, Tom and Lucy danced beneath the stars, music drifting from the ball behind them. Fast forward to 1928. Tom, now widowed after Sybil's death, married Lucy Smith, Lady Ma's only daughter and rightful heir. This union brought Tom into new social territory, and Dexter eventually confided in Barrow that he too was gay. A romance bloomed, and he offered Barrow a job in New York. Barrow accepted, finally finding a path to live freely. As filming ended, Mary turned down a romantic gesture from director Jack Barber, still conflicted over Henry's absence. Cora's illness turned out to be anemia, treatable and non-lethal. She later helped Myrna refine an American accent. Back at the estate, Edith considered taking on more magazine work, while Daisy and Andy moved forward in their relationship. Daisy's former father-in-law found companionship with Mrs. Patmore. When extras walked off set, Downton's staff stepped up. Mosley landed a screenwriting job and proposed to Miss Baxter, though an open mic made it very public. Violet passed peacefully, surrounded by loved ones, having reassured Robert of his true heritage. Carson returned briefly to train Andy. In the end, Tom and Lucy came home with their newborn, and a portrait of Violet was placed in her honor. Now, in 1930, just 2 years after those events, this final chapter is poised to bring everything full circle. We don't yet know whether the Crawleys will say goodbye to Downton forever, but Robert's kiss to the building suggests a deeply personal farewell. Despite the sadness, the trailer hints at joy, legacy, and love. This final film also marks the first without Maggie Smith, whose iconic Violet Crawley passed away both on screen and in real life in 2024. So this is more than a goodbye to Downton. It's a loving tribute to one of its most unforgettable stars. So, are you ready to close the book on Downton Abbey? Or are you secretly hoping for one last surprise? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe for more film updates. Until next.